Haile Selassie once said, "We must become bigger than we have, more courageous, greater in spirit, larger in outlook. We must become members of a new race, overcoming petty prejudice, owing our ultimate allegiance not to nations but to our fellow men within the human community." In today's society, humans tend to discriminate others based on racial remarks of one specific nation or background. However, prejudice is often an assumed opinion. The 100-Foot Journey, written by Richard C. Maurice, demonstrates that assimilation can only be achieved by succumbing difficult circumstances, such as conflicts arising from differing ethnic backgrounds. Hence, to the characterization of Madame Mallory and through the use of the literary device diction and similes, the author portrays prejudice. Firstly, Maurice portrays Madame Mallory as a character of prejudice against people of different backgrounds, the immigrants who display the necessity for assimilation in society. Madame Mallory is described as an individual with predisposed opinions. This is evident when she hears Hindustani music from the Hajis place and horrifyingly shrieks, "This is too much, Henry! Did you see that placard? Hear that plinky-plinky music? He can't do such a thing! Not on my street! He's destroying the ambience! Our customers, what will they think?" Since Madame herself finds the Hindustani music being played by the Hajis to be something dislikable, she perceives that it causes disturbances to customers and considers it as something that does not fit within the atmosphere in Lemire, since it is something from a different culture. This predisposed thought of Mallory's results in her customers going to Maison Mumbai and enjoying the different tastes and music they've never experienced before. Next, Madame Mallory is portrayed as an individual who has negative interactions with others. When the mayor of Lemire excitedly goes to Maison Mumbai to try a taste of India, Mallory stops him and questions, "Aren't you the mayor of this town? Aren't you meant to preserve our way of life? You shouldn't be encouraging those foreigners. It's a disgrace. Why are you eating there?" Mallory's prejudicial opinion against the Hajis portray her hatred against foreigners, and which is provoked from the mayor's betrayal of eating at another culture's restaurant, finding it as an insult, and thinking of the restaurant they say who sees the darkness, it eats right from her hand. Just as the singer is talking about an evil lady feeding darkness, Madame Mallory is doing the same thing as she is evil, and by passing prejudice, she is feeding darkness around her surroundings by giving negative impacts on another nation through her prejudicial opinions. Secondly, Maurice illustrates the negative impact that ethnic prejudices have on immigrants of different ethnic backgrounds for assimilation through the conflicts revolving around ethnic backgrounds, portraying internal and external conflict. Hassan experiences external conflict whilst living in India. The Hajis were not respected and treated as an honorable family in India, since they were not of the Shanti town or of the upper class of Malabar Hill, but instead lived on the exposed fault line between the two worlds. Their in-between status in society brings forth social conflict. The family status is meaningless as they cannot use it to build a future for themselves. Rather, they must start from scratch and work hard in order to build a future in their new country. As illustrated, external conflicts were present in many situations throughout the story, but the most prominent are the internal conflicts as they affect the characters on a deeper extent. Furthermore, Hassan encounters internal conflicts after moving to Paris for his cooking career. While visiting the Place Marbert's farmers market, Hassan is in shock from hearing the death news of his good chef friend when he accidentally bumps into an old woman whom in anger shrieks, "You dirty Arab!" Though Hassan is now a prominent cook in France who is successful in his career, he still faces racial discrimination. The old lady emphasizes her disgust for Hassan through her prejudicial thoughts, visualizing Hassan as something to be dirty to her eyes, since he is Arabian and to her, Arabians are worthless. The insult from this lady causes Hassan to rethink about his culture and determine I wear tight clothing and high heel shoes. It doesn't mean that I'm a prostitute. I like rap music, wear hip-hop clothes. That doesn't mean that I'm selling dope. Just as in the song, and Rouge talks about people making assumptions on her because of what she wears, in the novel, Hassan also faces prejudice because of his culture or heritage by Madame Mallory. The type of discrimination was faced by Hassan, although he was very successful and had no bad intentions. His race was an issue to others. Thirdly, an excellent understanding of complicated circumstances developed by prejudice for assimilation is portrayed by Moraes through the use of the literary devices diction and simile. His selective use of diction is evident when Madame Mallory discovers the Indian restaurant which the Hardys have opened across from her and disgustingly says, "That Indian, have you seen what he's doing? He's turned that beautiful Defore mansion into a bistro, an Indian bistro. Horrible. I can smell that oily cooking all up and down the street, and that placard? No, that is not possible." Moraes is selective with his words to imitate Mallory's French accent when she says, "no." Additionally, Mallory over-exaggerates when she describes the restaurant as an Indian bistro, as there is no such thing in the first place. She claims the beautiful Defore mansion to have been turned into something ugly only because an Indian
cab driver don't like the way I look. He don't like dreads, he thinks we're all crooks. Mr. Cab Driver reads too many storybooks.
Driver don't like the way I look. He don't like dress, he thinks we're all crooks. Mr. Cab Driver reads too many storybooks. The line, "Mr. Cab Driver don't like the way I look," connects to Madame Mallory's hatred for the Hardys when constantly labeling them as the Indians, which she always says in a dislike tone, showing that she does not like them for the fact that they are Indians. Furthermore, the line, "Mr. Cab Driver reads too many storybooks," emphasizes Mallory's prejudicial thoughts and opinions for the Hardys, which aren't true, but is made up out of the top of her head. Next, the literary device simile is used in this novel to demonstrate Mallory's anger towards Hassan's father when she was called something insulting by him. Quite the contrary, she was in most circles considered the very essence of refined French culture, so to be called a barbarian and by this Indian to boot was just too much for her, and she smashed Papa on the chest with her fist. He tried to take hold of her wrist, but she flurried them through the air like a boxer working a bag. Hassan's father gives an assumed opinion about Mallory, calling her a barbarian, which Mallory finds offensive because she respects her culture a lot, and she was commented a barbarian by an Indian man, which she finds embarrassing since she thinks of them as people who are lower than French people. All in all, Richard C. Moraes does an excellent job of portraying the difficult circumstances developed for assimilation in The 100-Foot Journey through the characterization of Madame Mallory, conflicts regarding different ethnic backgrounds, and the use of literary devices such as diction and simile. It is already very difficult for an immigrant to assimilate into a new culture due to them starting a life completely from scratch. Discriminating them on top of that makes this process a lot harder. Developed nations are so successful because of the immigrants and their ethnic backgrounds contributing to the society as whole, rather than society